laughing aloud. It's game day.
Is there anybody in Europe that can stop the KCorp hype train? Well, Team Liquid will say that we've been there and we've done that. They are one of the only teams to have eliminated this KCorp squad from a regional event. Johnny, they've now got the rubber match to try and do it yet again.
It's a prospect that has been considered impossible and has been considered just harder and harder with every passing season to Grand Slam the split. Karmine Corp, the only team who have an opportunity to do that now, at least between Europe and North America. And they are off to a decent start here. Vatira hitting the post from, well, at least for him, a pretty soft flip reset shot. Still threatening the defense.
So, oh, wait a minute, off the challenge, and Vatira back ready and waiting. Did see yesterday a couple of slips actually from Vatira. Now his team lawyering an awful lot around their own side of the field. I've not had the same mistakes though today from Vatira. It just seems to be a squad that looks good on the Friday, looks incredible on the Sunday. They do really ramp up, and now ramping up their own offense. Was the end of the opening minute. Vatira not in a position. Pinch clear though from a Chronic. Has a toe to try and follow up, but no further than that. Off the demo, and off he tried. He's going to fail, but a Chronic respawns. Gets rid of him.
A great respawn there from a Chronic to cover Oski's mistake. Team Liquid can't afford to make too many of those. Karmine Corp have been flawless in the playoffs as usual. It's been, I think, the breakout regional for Exotic. It's, Vatira, who everybody's calling the best in the world, and Itachi, who in my opinion has been MVP of the EU Winter split so far. But Exotic had an unbelievably impressive day yesterday. He's looking great today as well. When Karmine Corp can all play at this level, I think they honestly make a case for themselves as favorites in any matchup, and I'm talking worldwide, but we'll wait until the major to get too deep in that discussion.
I want to very quickly look towards what Liquid have accomplished as well, because when they first came in at the very end of last season, we thought, okay, this is going to take a little bit of time. If they qualify for events, that is fantastic. The winning events, that's an overperformance. Team Liquid, I feel like the expectations for them was high, and they have exceeded those expectations just somehow.
Yeah, they started pretty poorly, of course, failing to qualify for their first event together. But since then, they have indeed exceeded expectations. They're going to be down here, though. Itachi beats the Chronic to the punch. Karmine Corp continue to just be that little bit more efficient than their opponents. Oski's looking a bit awkward again. I mean, he called that he's going to fake this for Chronic to come in, but really, you can't be faking a play like that. It's a bit too obvious, a bit too risky. That's 2 aerial whiffs for Oski in game 1.
We do need to settle him down. It's a bit of a rhythm that you have to get used to when you're up against KCorp, because they do hit the ball so cleanly in defense. As Vatira saw Oski waiting for him on the floor, decided to take it up the backboard. Exotic, has he got someone downfield? A Chronic just had a little bit of pressure on from Vatira, steal some boost. Oh, that's a nice position for a Chronic to get it over to Oski. First touch, quite heavy though. No follow-up available for him. KCorp will be happy with this pace at the moment. They've not been put under any real pressure.
Yeah, these guys are immune to pressure, Shogun. They have not felt like, no, they haven't looked like they felt pressure in any of the moments we've tuned into their face cam throughout the past couple of weekends.
The only time we have seen this team have pressure under their own admittance is when they play in front of the blue wall.
Yeah, that's true.
That is it.
Yeah, they did crumble the first time that they had to do that. The expectation on their shoulders proved to be too much. But online, they're really not feeling any pressure. To be fair to them, neither have Liquid up until now in this event. I think they've looked very composed, even in reverse sweeping opponents, even in going to game 7 multiple times. Their composure has been phenomenal. Their vibes have been intact, as Chronic said, after their semi-final win today. This is the real test. This is where your beliefs get tested. Do you really think you've got a chance to beat Karmine Corp in their current form?
Now for Karmine Corp, it is all about maintaining that rivalry that they've got with Gen G. So many people salivating the opportunity for them to play against each other. Okay. Liquid want to be involved in the conversation. A Chronic lawyered around, and here was his result. He managed to get rewarded.
Yeah, Tachi was looking to keep that ball in the back corner, but it was hard read by Atto, who sent it right back into the middle. And Chronic believed in the centre ball. 1-1. I mean, how frustrating is it when you centre a ball like that and there's no one there? This time, Atto delighted to see his teammate stuck around.
Sort of play that maybe you don't see with 2 minutes left on the clock, but with 1 minute, worth just keeping a look around in. Oski chooses not to move too far forward here. Instead, half rotation. He's really struggling with those midfield battles, though. It's another one that he's been beat very cleanly to. And now midfield, nobody left. Atachi will not score an easier one.
That's a little bit careless there from Chronic and Atto. Chronic, I think, trying to pass the ball to Atto in the back corner, and Atto did not line it up perfectly. It's a very precise play you need to make there. If you don't hit it straight at your opponent or your teammate who's turning, it's probably going to have a hard time getting a touch. And they could have played a bit of a safer option, maybe just have Atto go back to goal. Liquid taking some risks, and they're not paying off.
I don't like the kickoff they went for, though. Delayed it on the touch, and they have got offensive possession for it. KCorp see that one away. Itachi stealing, almost got a second one. Itachi has been peaking at moments in this event. Oski, though, with a toe in support. Nothing for it. They need something now, though. Time running out. Tira just wastes as much of it as he can. Oski delays. But they've got to keep this ball now away from hitting the floor. It's exotic. Backboard doesn't have the boost to follow, but he's got enough boost to make everyone panic. Get a bump as well on the toe.
Yeah, they're doing a fantastic job keeping the ball in the air, but this is going to be very difficult with Karmine fully boosted up and ready to defend. And it does prove to be a challenge. Team Liquid are not prepared to pull off. Yeah, very dominant game one at the end of it all by Karmine. They continue to look deadlier than ever. I mean, to think about how impressive they were in the first split of this season, and then to consider that they've improved, it's quite a terrifying prospect for the rest of the world. Well, at least the rest of the world who are not in denial. This team looks unbelievably impressive. They're dominating a region that I think is at one of its strongest points it's been at in a long time. I think the European top four right now is very, very solid. We'll see how the fifth team's looking later on today with the tiebreak, but Karmine are dominating an in-form EU. It's something as we've never seen at this level before.
I think it's very interesting as well, because when we have seen previously dominant teams, it's been difficult to rate the rest of Europe. It's always been a bit of a mishmash, and we're just sending, this team's now going to have their chance. I must go back to Season X. We were sending a new team every single week to try and take down BDS.
Yeah.
Europe, we know the top four. It's not, it's not like we're getting to send new challenges towards them every single week. And yet, KCorp have been just that team, despite having the bullseye on their backs. For Liquid, though, I think the fix from that last game is pretty simple. Don't play as if you're expecting to get time from KCorp. Both times they got caught was because they just weren't expecting KCorp to be either as fast or hit the ball as heavy as they actually did. You can't get caught like that against this team.
Yeah, I don't think you can get away with making those risky plays in defense. Both of the goals against Team Liquid in game one came off Liquid's risky plays, trying to make some cheeky fakes and passing plays. That's a great shot, but his not equal to it. He continues to be an outstanding defender in this event. It's actually staying away from danger there. Sofsky looked to bump him. Liquid going to look to not overextend here. It's all about staying calm in these positions. That's a good opportunity. Chronic forced it through. What a solo play by Chronic, taking a scenic route. A little bit of a stealing bounce. Huge fake on Itachi. And then the beat on Exotic to the punch.
I just love the recovery back to the floor in that one. If he does not get that right, Exotic's still going to be able to get there. Instead, use the reset gain to get himself back down to the floor. And that is 1-0. That's exactly what you're hoping for from Team Liquid. As Itachi 2v1 cannot get the better of Oski. And you've got to say, if this is going to be a Team Liquid win, Johnny, it's going to be a more flashy series if it's in Team Liquid's favor.
Yeah, I think so. They always have a little bit of permanent air roll bound whenever they're playing at their best. They've got a little bit of freestyling in their gameplay. I mean, really, it just follows their confidence. If they're feeling good, then you're going to see those resets on every single aerial. You're going to see those mechanical plays every single time that they play the ball. What I'm liking from Liquid right now is they're spacing out very well. They're covering a lot of the field. They got that 1-goal lead. They're trying not to double commit. That's what got them in trouble in the last game. KarmineCorp still patiently waiting.
Vatira, past 1. I do like the early challenge, though. Makes the Toes' life a lot easier. Who's total still looking good as well for Team Liquid. Oski couldn't make contact with the ball, but he's still got Vatira to jump. Trying to cause a little bit of panic. Team Liquid, though, not willing to send the house. Not when they've got this 1-goal lead. Oski now can't get contact from a Chronic, so instead takes it by himself. Tachi will win that cleanly. And just the vice-like grip of KCorp starting to move on in. That's a huge win. And a Chronic on the top corner. Did it too well. Where's the follow going to be? Oski arrives just too late. We stay at 1-0.
A huge chance there. I mean, Atto did very well. It was not a high boost position for him. Still nearly managed to sneak the shot past and into the goal. And they've got to be so careful here. It's KarmineCorp on the counter-attack. Slow shot from Exotic. Goes behind the pre-jumping defender. And just like that, KCorp are back.
Just can't give them an inch. I love this shot from Exotic. Especially when as soon as you know a Chronic has to pre-jump this, you can just plop it straight behind him. It's exactly what Exotic does. 1 each. And we are already heading into that zone, Johnny, where most people, if they see KC go up 2-0 here, they will not believe that Liquid can take this. They're now starting to swarm around. Atto on the backboard. A Chronic moves on in, and the defense is just too strong.
Oh, they had the vision for the infield, but Exotic spotted it. Liquid trying everything here. Still, KarmineCorp forcing that 1 extra touch out of them every single time. 91 seconds to go is a must-win for Liquid. It feels like it, but they're pressing on. Still denied. A Chronic with a free aerial, but he's going to send it a bit too slow and wide. And now KarmineCorp doing what they do best, is getting bodies behind the ball and relying on those 50-50s in the Fenix. It's just a car that looks stronger than every other car, evidenced by Exotic's advance. Okay, Liquid are still in this. They've had some great chances. They've had some very close tries. KarmineCorp looking a bit vulnerable, perhaps. It just still seems inevitable that they're going to win.
It's up to Team Liquid to make us and the rest of the world believe. FaZe able to take down Gen G last week. Can Liquid do the same and really throw a wrench into the expectations for the San Diego Major? Oh, that's a slow shot in Tachi. I don't know if he expected to leave that one as long as he did, but either way, played very well. Now a toe! That's enough! 2-1.
Finally, KCorp were in an uncomfortable enough position. Boost running a bit low for them. They're a bit confused by whose turn it was to go for the ball at times, and Team Liquid picked their spot. What a sequence from Team Liquid. Coming that close to scoring several times, but remaining consistent. Keeping the rotation going, not overextending, and eventually working their way into a goal.
So difficult to do as well, because it's not even mistakes that KCorp always take advantage of. They're just so good at sniping away your third man, making sure nobody's left to get back into the rotation. They just get you on the counter-attack. And now, in a game that we thought was must-win, it's looking like Team Liquid are going to do exactly that. Yeah, no messing around from Atto. That's 1-1. Team Liquid making everyone believe.
I absolutely love that Atto's just hitting the ball into the ground there. It's I'm sure very tempting to pad the stats a little bit. You know, there's some pro players in the scene who would have tried to score that to get some extra points on the board for themselves, but Atto knows that's irrelevant. Let's just hit the floor. Let's avoid the crazy scenario where I somehow smoke the post here and the ball goes into my half and we lose. It's really well played. They're very selfless play from Atto. Going back to that Exotic goal we just saw, if he meant that, that's incredible, because I think looking at the way he dodged there, he was probably trying to hit the ball hard into the net. But if he's played a slow shot there, that is impossible for the defender to read. And well played. Yeah.
That's I like to call that one the shot set special, because he just did that so much in his prime. Just catch people on the pre-jump. Going to put that one behind you, because guess what? The only place you're not going to be is the place that you just jumped from. So, 1 each. Team Liquid looking very solid right now and had the better of the ball throughout the majority of that game. Need more of it, and I think it's this player that was on the ball just a moment ago that I'm looking towards the most, because in game one, Oski did not look comfortable. In game two, as soon as he settled down, we got the best of Team Liquid.
Yeah, they look like they've all settled into this one now. The awkward positions that they were finding themselves in defensively in game one did not come back to haunt them in the second game. That's what it's about for Team Liquid. They know that they've got what it takes mechanically. They know that they've got the talent. It's all about consistency. Well, look at this Ratto. Give these guys a little bit of time on the ball, and you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Itachi actually tried to pick up the back corner boost there as it spawned. He missed it by about half a second, so very close to having 100 boost to defend with there. But only having, I think, 7 in the tank was not enough to stop Atto's charge.
Oh, this might be another one or two on the challenge. Vatira too strong. Good challenge again, Vatira against Oski. Team Liquid have had themselves a couple of 2v1s when they break away from their own side of the field. Not something you typically expect to see. Itachi sticking around, has got the setup for Vatira. Probably going to want to dip that one back down to Exotic. Still, Team Liquid riding the momentum at the moment. Defensively, once they've got everyone back, they haven't really seen any trouble. Vatira gets the challenge. I'm always worried where that one's going to bounce.
If I'm not mistaken, are we following last event's script exactly? Last event's grand final script, I believe, going into game 4, Team Liquid did in fact lead 2-1, so they're on track for that. And that was when we saw the Karmine 8-1 win or something silly. Oh, it's a great pass. It's somehow saved well. Karmine don't have any momentum for the follow-up. Team Liquid don't look comfortable. Vatira dunks it through the last defender. He needed a bit of help there. There was just none anywhere that he could see. Oski wanted to force it into the corner. Vatira says no.
We've got to talk, though, about the game IQ from Vatira, because that is so tempting just to hit it first time. And you see him instead reverse back and give himself some breathing room to begin that air dribble. You can only do that if you're absolutely certain about not only the state of your positioning, but the state of the opponent's positioning. Now off the backboard, is this for the lead? Vatira has the stats, but why not? He was the one that set it all up.
Yeah, he probably feels like he deserves this one. Dusts the last defender, set up Exotic, and he says, you know what? I'm going to take this one for myself. Puts it into the goal line. So they're not trying to run back last event's script. If you missed it, Karmine won the first game. Team Liquid won 2. Karmine called a timeout, won the next game 8-1. And then Team Liquid are massively criticised for not calling a timeout before match point, something that's been a recurring theme of the past few weeks. I'm extremely interested to see if one of the teams will call a timeout after losing game 3. It looks like that might be up to Liquid to decide the way things are going.
Yeah, as good as the offensive pressure they had coming into this game was, and to start this game, they've not seen it for a while now. Chronic looking to try and change that. Goes for a keeper and looks to try and get a second one for Vatira. Realize he has to move quickly. Vatira has been steadfast. Every time he's on the ball, he's at least getting 1 for 1. Exotic gets past the Chronic. Here comes the blue wall. Vatira at the pop-up. Itachi has to take it. He's on 0 boost. Doesn't really want to pull himself out of the play. Probably a good decision, but that bounce is so awkward, and they reacted too late.
A very awkward position for Itachi, who's got 0 boost, for Exotic, who's got 12 boost. He's trying to get out of the way of Vatira. He doesn't know where he is. And in all that chaos, Vatira gets beaten to the ball by Chronic, who is right on top of that bounce. He read it very well. 2-2. Itachi's having one of those games, Shogun, where he can't find boost anywhere he goes. The boost is just gone. It happens to even the best players in the world, so I'm sure that's something that all of our Rocket League players in the
who are watching today, they know. 43.
Well, I mean, when we 4v3'd, Stumpy was taking all the boost, so that's why we didn't have any, but
yes.
It happens to pros as well. Sometimes you just have games where the boost doesn't line up with where you need to be on the field. And yeah, every time I switch to Itachi, it seems like he's struggling to find boosted defense.
Here is Itachi, 100 to his name. Let's see what he can do with it. Not too much. Oski, happy to meet him to the ball. There's a lot of individual plays being used to try and get out. Not as many passing plays, quite as direct. Toe is actually waiting downfield, forces that pressure, gives some space now to Team Liquid. Can they find the angle? Always going to be difficult. Oski running out of boost as he made contact. And Itachi, I don't know how on earth they've come that. I don't know how they've even got it that close. But still, KCorp can catch you at any moment.
And notice how many times they're just trying to 50-50 the ball favorably. It's something KCorp are relying on a lot more than Team Liquid. Team Liquid looking to get clean out plays. That's usually their preference and always has been. It's KCorp quite happy to just 50-50 the ball towards teammates. Vatira's covered this one well, and Exotic gets a free goal. I mean, where do you clear this when Vatira's coming at you? It's Acronic who's been tasked with that job. I think he maybe just didn't go early enough. He left it so late. Vatira had a freebie.
And given the position of it, they just couldn't figure out whose that was supposed to be. I think Acronic might have thought that was a Toes thought it was Acronic's. Ends up, it was neither of them. It was KC's. Now Acronic, low challenge from him. It's going to be a difficult game to play against KC. Oh, good challenge window. Who's first to it? There's bumps all over the place. Acronic plays the ball to the corner. 30 seconds on the clock. Shot is as far as Vatira. Far side, Itachi will take control of the ball. That's so much time off the clock that Team Liquid would like to see back.
And it's been a bit of a slower game by both teams. I think that does favor Karmine Corp, who have got the ability to play well, no matter what the pace of the game is. Team Liquid, they want to get this ball moving as quickly as possible. But in the other direction, this is not ideal. And in fact, it does bounce into the ground for 2-1. So it begs the question, do they call a timeout? They were heavily criticised for waiting until they were on match point in their last grand final against Karmine Corp before they did exactly that. Now, Karmine Corp lead 2-1. And I mean, it's not like they're on a streak or anything.
I mean, the big difference on this one is this wasn't an 8-1 loss.
It wasn't an 8-1 loss, but if Karmine Corp win the next one and you call a timeout, are you really coming back from 3-1 down? You've just got to ask yourself that question. I think it might be a controversial take, but I think they should be calling a timeout here. Just get KCorp overthinking the situation, perhaps.
Well, we can pretty much confirm at this point that they're not going to. We are loading into Utopia Coliseum. Quick reminder as well for everybody, if you are just joining us for the grand finals, once we are done here with this matchup, the broadcast will continue. We'll be going to a break. When we come back, 3 teams playing off for that final major spot. Quadrant waiting in the finals. We've got German Amigos and G1 Esports. 2 matches, 1 team going to the San Diego Major. It's going to be incredible, Johnny. But before then, we have got Team Liquid and KCorp to get through. Spoil for choice today, really?
Yeah, this is the story of legacy against a team with a point to prove. Team Liquid wants to prove everyone that they know what they're doing. Prove to everyone they know what they're doing. And Karmine Corp wants to continue this ridiculous run of results. And first, Team Liquid they would love to be the team to end that. Like you mentioned earlier, FaZe ended Gen G's streak in North America. They're not going to get it easy, though. Oski reads a couple of misses on the backboard and sinks the opening goal in Game 4.
As good as KC are, they have not been infallible in these spots. There has been a lot of times, not just in this series, throughout the weekend, where it's just been questionable as to what they are doing. And more often than not, it's during the slow plays. When it's games up to pace, they're fine. That's, however, just a toe being a bully.
Phenomenal work by Atto. He lost the race to the boost there. Well, he doesn't have any. Vatira does, but he just parks himself in front of Vatira. Vatira can't use his boost to get to the ball because he gets blocked out of the position. Phenomenal awareness by Atto to get the second goal of the game. That first goal of the game, I think Exotic would have preferred if the shot was faster, the initial shot, because he was trying to dribble the ball, air dribble the ball into his backboard, catch it. And it actually proved to be quite an awkward thing to do when the ball's moving as slowly as it was. So, yeah, like you mentioned, KCorp probably expecting a much faster pace from Team Liquid, and these little slow plays are surprising them when they do occur.
There's a toe yet again off the backboard. Exotic's touch is going to need some help. Does find it. Vatira, 1v1. very difficult to get a 1v1 or even a 1v2 play when Team Liquid are on defense. They're just all so capable in those positions. Same can we said vice versa. Have to work for every single play when you get onto this field. It's Exotic off the demo, goes on the far corner, and that doesn't go into the top. It doesn't set up for a teammate. As good as it was, nothing doing there for KCorp.
Yeah, KCorp lacking synergy on that play. It was a read from, it's actually the ball would become a near post, and Exotic trying to fling it far post. Really, I've got to say, Itachi didn't give Exotic many options there. I think he maybe could have been a bit further across the box. Oh, what a snipe, Patira! Underneath two defenders. Perfect placement. Look how much time they've got left. There's a long way to go if Liquid are going to hold on here. Oski and Chronic, they're both covering the high shot. Patira goes under them.
Just cannot afford to link up in the same spot. Off the kickoff, everybody's missing it. Patira almost past the toe. That lead cut in half. Will it even last for a minute left? Oh, not off a challenge like that. Itachi! He's just too strong.
Oski getting a bit too much on that first ball, and I think maybe falling prey to trying to be a bit too fancy as well. Wanted the reset and the clean outplay. I think there you've just got to take the 50-50. You've got to accept that, well, I've kind of lost control of this one. Maybe the outplay is not available anymore. It's far too risky to, be going under the ball like that and having a bad hitbox and the almost definite challenge that KCorp are going to land. That's certainly a difference between these two teams. KCorp do not shy away from just saying, hey, it's fine, I'm just going to 50-50 the ball. And often steer those 50-50s like we're seeing here. Look how many times KCorp 50-50 the ball and it goes straight to a teammate. Compared to Team Liquid, who are really hunting for outplays more than the physical plays and those gritty plays that seem to be just as effective.
Oski, he actually might get there. Gets one touch. Can he get another one? Run out boost. Chronic slows the play down. Has typically been the decision to make against KC, but also it has relied on KC making a mistake. I do not know if that's going to ever be automatic. Oski jumps a bit early, cannot run to the ball as well as he would like to. Patira's got 2 for 1. He's put himself in such a rough spot now. Patira got his team the momentum, got them possession. Now have they got themselves the game winner? Pops the ball up. In goes Patira. He's actually missed it. KC are in such a dominant position in terms of team standing. Can they get themselves their third off the double? Everyone's jumping, everyone's flopping, and nobody's gonna get there.
Well, Itachi in his current form has to be respected with this double tap, but you can't send everybody. It's an absolute panic at the back. An absolute disaster for Team Liquid. Everybody jumps, and I think Atto even got landed on there. All too easy for Exotic to put KC back in front from 2 goals down. Can they add even more to their tally?
Well, 2-0 feels like a very long time ago now for Team Liquid. It disappeared in a heartbeat. Now they've got to go and get themselves back into this series. They lose this, they have to win 3 in a row. It's KCorp that wants to keep setting records, that wants only their name to be mentioned when it comes to European major challenges. The demo, Vatira can't win the challenge. That was so crucial from Atto. Going to keep the play going as well. He has got support. Goes the whole way by himself.
Oh, well, threat identification failing there for Karmine as Atto looking for the floor double. Itachi didn't read that and accidentally own goals. Now, if Itachi's reading that play, he really won't want to jump the way that he did, because the point of danger wasn't that touch that Atto was about to be making. It's the double off the floor. That was the angle Atto was lining up, but Itachi getting a bit too ahead of himself, going a bit too early, and Team Liquid will gladly accept the 1-goal gift.
Itachi has been a little bit difficult to place in this series. That can be said for KCorp as a whole unit. Itachi now off the wall, straight to Exotic, stealing reset available. That's good. Now to Itachi, slow shot. Crucial few moments ahead now for Team Liquid. This next goal has to have an orange flare to it. It's actually a few wall flips. Gets the pace back up. Vatira, has he got it? No, stopped on the line. And now a toe. Has he got anyone to pass off to? Chronic was on his way back. We look like we might need overtime instead of Exotic alive.
Not quite, but surely no. Oh no, Chronic's going to keep it up. He went for the big. But we do indeed get overtime. Liquid have tried to play a couple of slow kickoffs. This one stays pretty central. Safe cheats from both teams. It's KarmineCorp with the first push forward. Fake challenge to the near post from Atto. Slows Itachi down. And that gave time for numbers to gather at the back now. Atto through one with a low 50. Can he go through? Yes, he can. Atto with a huge solo play ties the series.
Vatira got greedy. Could have played that to his own back corner, given himself so much time. Instead, wanted to keep the play offensive, tried to go for the turn, and that was the nicest thing that Atto could ever see. Kept the play for himself, and that is Team Liquid back in the series. We are starting to set ourselves up here, Johnny, for a massive few games.
Absolutely huge win there for Team Liquid. I've got to think that if they lost this one, not even a timeout is going to save them. I think they're done, because that was a 2-goal lead early that they ended up losing to be behind in the first place. Picking up an equalizer off an own goal, which was definitely a forced own goal, no doubt about that. But Atto clutching it up with a solo play is gonna have them forgetting all of that. Everything that went wrong in the run-up to this winner will now be completely forgotten. And that's all they're going to be thinking about. We just won in overtime with a massive solo play. Vatira, the one making the mistake as well from KarmineCorp, like you mentioned, just losing control of the ball. Not really following up on his own mistake either, as he still had a chance to get a good 50-50, something KarmineCorp are known for. And Atto just, played him. Played the goalie as well. Now Liquid have the momentum.
So let's see. Liquid won the first grand finals between these two. KarmineCorp only 2 weeks ago took the second. Who can win the third? Liquid have been the only team in Europe that have managed to have maybe a bit of a read when it comes to KC. And even that has been a losing record. Let's find out then. Exotic tries to go for the shot first time. It's well covered there by Chronic. He's now got the support moving on in. And both teams still have access to their timeout, with 3 matches left to play at most.
I think it's automatic at this point when we're going to see those, probably after this game and the one after, if we see two more games go either way. But yeah, Team Liquid trying to run back their split from the fall, where they took Regional 3 against KarmineCorp in the grand final. We're going to do that again. KarmineCorp, of course, they want the sweep. They want all 3. Whenever they're asked, are they still motivated to keep winning? They've already qualified for the major. They've already confirmed first seed. Where's the motivation? Well, they want the legacy. They want to be respected. They want to prove to anyone that they're here to win no matter what day it is, what tournament it is, and how many wins they've already had in the season.
Well, they are up against some big names when it comes to the sort of legacy they want to leave. Right now, when it comes to domestic Rocket League, KCorp are right there with the best of them. We will find out whether or not they can step that level up when it comes to international competition. For now, though, they've got themselves into a good position. Oski clears long. Trying to find a teammate. I do like that Team Liquid always have options available, though. Oh, that's not a good option. A Chronic on the miss. Is that going to be set up?
Wow.
No, could not get the ball to his teammate.
Yeah, it just didn't look like KarmineCorp were ready to follow up on that. They didn't expect the miss. They thought the ball was going to be coming back into their half. And there was no one available for Vatira to center the ball to. Still tied at 0-0. Seemed like we look a bit shaky here. Suddenly, I could say the same for KarmineCorp, who again have failed to read the incoming threat. And now it's Team Liquid battering the backboard. KarmineCorp clear. Very tense game 5. Very important game 5. And I think more important for Team Liquid in terms of form. But KarmineCorp, they look vulnerable today.
Atto wiped out. Exotic. Oh, they've got the passing option on the backboard. Itachi back to Vatira. And Vatira, you saw, back down immediately. Realized that that infield pass was going to be covered by the defenders. Did not want to wipe himself out.
Whoa.
And he has missed. Team Liquid were not anticipating that of all things, though. Off the backboard.
Oh,
who's going to be first to it is a Chronic.
You know, compared to the MVP of the split so far, standard he's set for himself, Itachi's having a very awkward couple of games here. But Vatira is just doing more and more. Not enough, though. Atto finishes off a full team offensive drive. Oski with a win on a 50-50, a knock-on forward. A Chronic's there to pop it to the backboard, and in comes Atto. They're all right. They're pushed up as far as they can be when that goal goes in. Look how advanced the whole team is, all on the back wall of their opponents. But they get the job done. Team Liquid in front.
Listen, there's been times where Itachi could be criticized. This could be a second goal. That should have been. Oski, you would have expected to have the read on that. Will Team Liquid regret missing that shot? Atto, ceiling reset. He's having an unbelievable grand finals for himself. Now Chronic sets up on the goal line. It's going to be difficult to convince any of his teammates to head over there with this 1-goal lead. They've already seen themselves give up a 2-goal lead in the previous game. Chronic, oh, he turns. That's a good bounce for him as well. He's up against Vatira, who has got support on the way. Goes for the low challenge. And that might be a new wrinkle to the game that will be very good for Team Liquid. That is sheer power. Unstoppable.
What a team play by a Chronic and Atto. Infield from Atto. A Chronic's actually hitting that in such a way that it might just go straight in. It might be a pinch off Atto. He might have had a piece of it. It's hard to tell because they were so close, but what we can say with certainty is that Team Liquid's synergy has peaked at the right time. They've got Karmine on the ropes.
And they are more and more difficult to read on offense. Oh my goodness, that's on the line. Wow, tipped away by Oski. 2-0 remains the scoreline. That can change at any moment though, and Team Liquid know it.
Oh, that is one of the most creative saves I've ever seen. Snipe the ball downwards and have it bouncing at your goal line. I mean, Team Liquid deserved this game. They have pulled out some incredible plays at the tail end of a very tense, very even mid-game. And now you can see the pressure at Exotic. They can feel a shift in the momentum. Their confidence has been completely unquavering all split. And now, in the grand final, the last match, at least of the tournament, is going against them. It's starting to fall apart. Multiple cracks in Karmine's armor.
One thing that you really would have given to Team Liquid going into this grand final is that whilst many would rightfully expect KC to be the more consistent of the two teams, Team Liquid have that peak. And Johnny, my goodness, are they peaking. Double championship points. And if Karmine Corp are going to continue to add to their legacy, they need to do what nobody else has done this entire season for this region and send us to a championship match on Champions Field.
It's a great prospect to consider. I think it's very possible because timeout has been called for Karmine Corp. You know what happens when teams call timeouts? They tend to win the next game. The statistics are very, very strong in the favor of that happening. But Team Liquid just pulled out such an impressive game there. Out of nowhere, really. They did look a little bit uncomfortable, despite the fact they came back from 1 goal down and won game 4. Critical win there. That's going to, I think, be the real turning point of the series if we look back at a Team Liquid win at the end of the day. But Karmine Corp, they were just waiting for the Team Liquid mistake, waiting for Team Liquid to crumble under the pressure, and it didn't happen. And who peaked first? Liquid did. There's never been a question about this team's ability to do that. But maybe Karmine Corp need to try and start forcing some more of those mistakes. I think Vatira...
They're going to have to go now.
Yeah, he looked lively. Vatira looked great. But where's the Itachi we've been seeing all split? Where's the Exotic we saw yesterday? They really did not look like themselves this game. And they, like we've seen many times before, they can't rely on Vatira. Surely not. Surely Vatira can't 1v3 again. He has done it a few times in the past. Surely not against Team Liquid in this current form.
Well, if anything, this timeout was needed just to ice Team Liquid a little bit because they were playing some of the best Rocket League I have seen from this trio. They're a team, Johnny, that I was hoping by now in their career would be steadfast, one of those teams that we are expecting to go to majors. I I'm really happy that they are progressing so quickly. And if they can replicate stuff like that on LAN, oh my goodness, this is a scary team with a ceiling that I don't think we've seen them hit just yet. Even though that last game, Johnny, that might be pretty close to it.
You know, a lot of people are talking about Oxygen as EU's answer to FaZe. If Karmine Corp and Gen G are on a collision course, then maybe Oxygen and FaZe are as well. I think I'm more than happy to throw Team Liquid in as the FaZe counterpart more than Oxygen at this moment. They're the team who've made 2 consecutive grand finals. You know, they haven't played on the Karmine Corp Oxygen side of the bracket to do it, but they've been the team that have given the best fight to KC this event and the last event that we've seen. Can they do what FaZe did in NA though? Can they beat the dominant team in the region? One more game is all they need. They've got 2 shots at it.
Well, it's one of those things where KC's own achievements might have overshadowed what Team Liquid have done, because this is their 3rd grand final. We've only had 6. Any other team getting to half the grand finals would be incredibly impressive. It's just been a little bit lurking under the KC wall. So, are we going to Champions Field? Are our Team Liquid going to win the grand final rubber match? Well, right now in this position, you'd say that they're in the best spot, and Oski gets the ball over the line.
What a start for Team Liquid. Icronic waits for the touch to come towards him, and in the goal mouth scramble, Oski's the one to keep his composure and wait for the ball to come to him. Everybody else was flinging themselves at it. Oski bided his time. I don't think I've ever seen all 6 players so close to the ball as a goal gets scored at the pro level. We do have a pause here, as I think we've had a game crash from one of the Team Liquid players. So you know, don't blame me if I'm wrong, but I would assume that they're not going to take that goal back if it's Team Liquid who have called for the pause. We'll have to wait and see what actually happened. But yeah, hopefully we'll get back to the action in a moment, because this is proving to be a very entertaining grand final.
Ridiculous. And we're not done. We're not done. We have still got 2 series left to go today. Cannot wait to get into those. Before then, we do have Team Liquid on the verge, inching every single moment towards that Invitational Championship. For Team Liquid, I mean, just keep this going. If any, they are the team most upset right now by this pause. So if KC took this, they'd be upset. And now they are kind of icing themselves. But for KC, time to think here. How on earth do we get back into this?
Yeah, it is. It's getting pretty desperate here. Timeout called. They immediately concede. Itachi's looked a bit awkward on the pitch, and Exotics looked a bit awkward on the pitch at the very end of the last game. You know, I got to give some credit, by the way, to Team Liquid for picking the perfect time to have a PC crash right on a kickoff. The least controversial pause in Rocket League history, perhaps.
We won't remember this. It was
Team Liquid who
great.
did this, so it's gonna resume 1-0 exactly where we were. No conversation about the validity of that goal. I think it was Oski's PC crash right after the goal got scored. Maybe he celebrated a bit too hard. Did he miss the fist bump and actually just punch his PC? Yeah, that's we're asking the real question.
We've seen some weird stuff happening on the cameras throughout this weekend. I've just seen Farah throw a whiteboard pen at one of his players. That was quite interesting. We've seen Vatira flex. Everybody seems to be having quite a bit of fun with that. Since we introduced it, there's been a lot of content just from that alone. Only one bit of content, though, that Team Liquid are interested in is that winner's bracket that we would get to look at. Should they go and get the job finished? KCorp putting the pressure down, and are they going to get back to the even need to? It's just off target.
Well, another near miss for Team Liquid, but this is really KCorp. They look like they're struggling here. When they were down in the previous grand final to Team Liquid, their coach Trevor Sachs told them just ball chase harder, and that might be the answer as they finally fire back 1-1. Team Liquid are such a fast team. They're so good at pressuring the ball. Karmine Corp do consider themselves able to do that to an even higher level. I've seen them try slow play. We've seen them try and control Team Liquid. Maybe it's time to just throw caution to the wind and race them to everything.
Oh, that's off the kickoff as well, and Exotic has it read.
Good cover.
Yeah, we've seen a few times where players just cheat up down the line, and that would have been 2-1 should have Exotic have done that. Itachi though, 0 boost. I feel like we've said that quite a few times this game. Exotic, good win from him. Brings in a Chronic. Couple of support, and that did not bounce nicely for Exotic, but just was a little bit less away from him. Could have controlled it more. This one behind Vatira. A couple of bumps on the goal line. Vatira's got time to set up. Try to put it behind. Just too much time. By the time you've got to the ball, all 3 of the players on Team Liquid are around.
Well, there's a lot of time there for bumps to land, and bumps were landing. The panic was definitely being instilled on Team Liquid. That's a great infield pass. It actually tries to go for the slow shot, but it is countered by an immediate touch from the Team Liquid defender. KarmiCorp are trying to read each other in these close quarters. It's so difficult to do. Communication needs to be on point in situations like this. One missed move could take 2 players out of the game in an instant. Feels like Team Liquid really want to push for it right now. I mean, of course they do, but is it going to be that easy? Are you going to beat KarmiCorp in 6 after they've come off a timeout? Vatira doesn't think so. He wants to retire the GOAT. In fact, I don't think Vatira ever wants to retire, to be honest, but he wants to be the greatest of all time. You don't do that by losing. KarmiCorp in the hunt for yet another win.
That's the shot. Ato gets a jump from Itachi. Vatira's playing this backwards. And even a backwards Vatira can get the respect. Now we might be able to hunt out Oski's car. Instead, redirect from Vatira. We go to the Champions Field. You've got KarmiCorp doing a good job so far. I've not found the goal for it. You ask almost any pro, most of them tend to say that they hate Champions Field. It means that the series has gone in a way that wasn't as cleanly as they were hoping. KC might be reevaluating that opinion at the time being.
Wasn't that Vatira's opinion? His question, why did you leave Moist? I don't like game 5. I don't like game 5 and 7, even though we won all of them. I want to win in 4 games, 5 games in a best of 7, but they can't do that today. They're forced to go the distance. Do they still have the ice? Team Liquid definitely do. They've won 2 game 5s in best of 5s, 2 game 7s in best of 7s so far this event. And they could win this one in 6 with just 1 more goal. KarmiCorp have not been able to back Team Liquid up consistently like they did earlier on in the series.
But at the same time, a little bit more ball chasing has worked for KC. The time on the ball has been significantly less now for Team Liquid. Although Chronic's got a bit of it. Nice early challenge. Back out. Oski beat clean. Now that midfield belongs to KC. What can they get for it? Not much. A Chronic. Oh, we had time. And Vatira had another player as well behind him covering the backboard. If that one was put low, it might have put KC in a lot of trouble. So 20 seconds left here, Johnny. We got a goal. Have we got OT? Have we got Champions Field?
Well, we do have Vatira looking scary right now. Consistency in defense, pop off in offense, but it's going to be Team Liquid with his final push of the game. Itachi shuts it down pretty early. And Vatira on the ball again. He seems like he's just magnetic to possession at the moment. And we're going to decide this one at OT.
Championship goal for Team Liquid. Now, Chronic's going to need some help here. Does well by himself. What am I saying? He doesn't need any help. He's a Chronic. He is the help. Tachi now on the back line. Booming clear from him. Just skims the ceiling. Couple of demos. Vatira, he's happy to see how that one's played out. Doesn't hit the ball. Itachi forced to scamper back yet again. KC are setting up well, but they're not getting enough contact on the ball when they need it.
Seem like they're waiting for their opportunity. So many times in the past they've forced the issue in situations like this. Oh, wait a minute! The net's open! What has happened? The Team Liquid's rotation, just when I said that they're going to wait carefully. We've got Oski rotating upfield, Atto out of the game, a Chronic in a 1v1. No backup, and Exotic sends us to game 7.
Well, history is not supposed to be easy, and KarmiCorp are proving exactly that. Timeout for Team Liquid. Understandably so. But for the first time in this region all season long, Johnny, We've got Game 7 in a grand finals.
This is how Gen G lost their win streak in NA. It was a Game 7. A one-sided Game 7 against them. I'd be very surprised if KarmineCorp lose in a one-sided Game 7 here, but this isn't where they wanted this series to go. I'm pretty sure they wanted it to be over earlier than this, but they've made it this far. Team Liquid are the team who have been leading. KarmineCorp now taking them down here. Yeah, Team Liquid, they just really dropped the ball on that final play. They looked so composed. They looked like they were really playing for each other early and often. And then all of a sudden, we've got Oski making the scenic route rotation, stealing a boost while his team's in defense. And either that wasn't communicated or it wasn't compensated for accordingly by his teammates. Because if you've got one player completely out of the game and you're in a 2v3 with your remaining two players, those two players have to buy time. You don't dive. You don't go for speculative challenges. You wait. You stay on the ball. You just make sure that your teammate who's out of the game can get back. That's not what Team Liquid did. They immediately dove in with their second man. And then Chronic, I believe, was left in a 1v1. So I don't think you can really put the blame on him for losing out in that situation. Yeah, here you can see it. Actually, Sato, he's completely by himself. And Exotic does a phenomenal job with the flick to put it over his head.
Right. So, I'm going to say this one more time before we get into our Game 7. Be sure to stick around, because despite the fact that this has gone all the way and it has been so incredible, we're not done after this. After this match, we are going to be taking a break, and then we come back for the three-way tiebreaker to decide who's going to join these two teams over at San Diego. But for now, Johnny, I think I'm just going to enjoy what we've got coming our way. 5 minutes, Invitational Championship on the line. Gen G couldn't do it last week. Can KCorp put themselves as the front runner for the major, or can Team Liquid take them out at the final hurdle?
It's all about form. It's all about focus. Final game of a series like this where neither team has played at their peak consistency, but they've both had moments where they've produced brilliance, as you would expect from a lobby as stacked as this. But who can do it in the 7th game? You know, call me crazy, but I've got to back Team Liquid here. They've done it in the 8th match 4 times this weekend already. And
I'm on the opposite side, I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't blame you. If you're saying KC are the favorites here, I think you're probably right.
If we had a tiebreak to get through, we'd be using this one right now. Instead, it's about these two teams right now. I feel like Team Liquid just let off the gas a little bit too much in that overtime, like the opportunity to finish the deal got to them. Cannot do that this time around. KCorp will be that consistent pressure. Oski sticking himself in a difficult spot for Vatira. Can't get past the toe. Who has really been that player for me when it comes to offense.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal. He's been tough to read. Every time he makes a touch on the ball. He's missed that one, but Ato's ready to come in behind Oski. Team Liquid just testing KarmineCorp's defense with lofted balls over the box. And they keep this up without overextending like they did at the end of Game 6 in overtime. I mean, that was a high-pressure situation. This is an even higher pressure situation. And they've had a moment to breathe between those games. A little bit of time to just compose themselves and prepare for the final battle. We're deep into it already. Still lingering upfield. Can't get there before Exotic, though. KarmineCorp with a keen eye on lingering Team Liquid players who are known for lurking upfield, hunting redirects, hunting those cherry picker plays.
Midfield for a Chronic. Tries to catch Vatira sleeping. And actually, he's going to get there first. What happened to KC? Well, Vatira wasn't sleeping, but all the rest of the squad was.
Oh my goodness. Well, that is just a massive blunder by KarmineCorp. Vatira's trying to just leave the ball in the center of the box for one of his teammates to clear, but Exotic jumps. He didn't trust Vatira to make that save. I mean, that just sounds crazy when you say it. And Itachi wasn't ready. He wasn't arriving at the right time to clear the ball that Vatira passed it. I mean, that is just a huge mistake. And Team Liquid were there for it with an easy goal in Game 7.
Well, the most blunderous blunder that you've ever seen blunder might be the deciding goal in the European Invitational. I don't like the sound of that. KCorp don't like the sound of that. 2.5 minutes to try and change that narrative.
You know, they say that a lot of talk about how there's no pressure on these teams. They've already qualified for the major. Karmine Corp have already got first seed. I mean, look how much pressure it appears to be on them. That triple commit would never happen in a group stage game, you think. But now, it has happened. They want this win badly. But in their hunt for it, they're starting to make mistakes. And Team Liquid, they might be the underdog on paper, and they look like the favorite in Game 7.
Whatever KC have done, it is a very reactionary esport, as are all esports. You lose this, you lose a lot of the shine that you had going into San Diego.
Yeah.
You going in off a loss. Only one team from the region is not going to be doing that. Vatira has got some time in the boys up against Oski.
Oh
what a
my.
fight! What a goal! Vatira is that guy!
It's actually pops it in field to him, and Oski probably looked up in horror as he realized, oh no, it's Vatira on the ball. He's the one guy at Karmine Corp who's played like his usual self in this grand final, I think. And he shows once again why he's one of the greatest. He's on the ball a second time, this time offloads to Exotic. Selfless play from the Talisman. But it's a save from Team Liquid to keep us at a tie.
Team Liquid, you've got Vatira to deal with now. And it is now up to Team Liquid to bounce back. Having been the team that most recently conceded. You've got to get the ball out of this position. The boost totals are starting to run low. KCorp are aware of it. They're starting to swarm. Every challenge that goes their way was another big win for them. Instead, this one drops down to a toe. Gets the pass.
Oh! Atto with a monstrous pass. He had hardly any boost to play with. Had to wave dash alongside the ball before offloading to Oski, who sends it high into the net for the 1-goal lead. Just 42 seconds left. KC's record is on the brink of being broken.
What a bounce back. Under so much pressure after just conceding. And now they're going to win another one. Brace for Oski. And KC needs something monumental to take this championship.
Exotic couldn't get the touch. It's forced into the middle. And it's another pickup, another easy goal for Team Liquid. We've had, one well-worked goal so far in this final game for Karmine Corp, but now time's got away from them. Caution needs to be thrown to the wind, but they're under pressure again.
Just like that. Really is how this goes. And every challenge is a massive win for Team Liquid. Itachi takes the ball. He's got a bit of time. He does not have the infield that he wanted, though. Oski was just shadowing Vatira the entire way. And with that clear, it looks like it's confirmed. There will be no Grand Slam, but there will be a Team Liquid Championship. They have defeated Karmine Corp.
For the second split in a row, they take Regional 3. They take the Invitational in Winter, just like they did in Fall, and they do it by beating KC, the dominant team in the region. Team Liquid are the answer. And they didn't just do it by just racing to the ball and hoping it works. No, they really did play a great series here. They were patient at times. They forced the issue at other times. They came back from behind. They did everything they needed to do. And in Game 7, they were the team who kept their composure. Team Liquid, in form, heading to the Winter Major.
I think Team Liquid managed to win in every single style you could do on that one. My mind obviously goes back to that Wasteland game where they were so dominant, but they had every style of game. They had this very tense Game 7. Cast our mind all the way back to the time that they had a 2-goal lead. They dropped it. They were losing 3-2, and they still went on to win that game. If you want resilience, they've got it. If you want peaks, they've got it. If you want a championship, Team Liquid, they now have got it. Congratulations to them. And they get to be the team going into the San Diego Major as the champions.
Yeah, not the number 1 seed, but they'll take 2. That's a great result for them. Big deal as well to come out ahead of their other 2 rivals, Vitality and Oxygen. Yeah, well played, Team Liquid. They're the team to do it, taking down the dominant Karmine Corp.
I'm back again.
Hello. Hello.
It's me. It's Dapper.
What a cat.
It's Turtle.
What a cat.
We lost Wave. Unfortunately, I think his power's gone. Yep. But hey, I've now thrown from the desk to myself on a cast before, and now I've gone from the cast back to myself. My goodness.
Wow.
That is awfully good fun.
Too.
Turtle.
Costs are going up.
Let's keep on the subject of fun though. Wow, Game 7, and we got the Team Liquid victory. What were you seeing over there, bud?
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, history absolutely denied. Okay, Karmine Corp do not make it all the way in each single regional event. They made every grand final, but they can't win every single regional event. Game 5 for me, that was the difference maker. As soon as Game 5 were able to take that dub and put us on match point, I was thinking, okay, there's no way. Even with Vatira going in Super Saiyan form, we are not getting a KC win. They tried to battle back. Game 7 looked promising, but ultimately that mechanics that came out from Team Liquid on another level, Dad.
Yeah, we talked about it going into this matchup. We knew Liquid had the mechanics. It was about doing it in a teamwork environment that we, Karmine Corp has kind of gotten to this point by doing. Seeing Team Liquid come out on top like this was just absolutely fantastic. I've never been more happy to be wrong.
I mean, it's just so difficult to be dominant in any region. KCorp now realize that, and CJ is with a Chronic.
Well, Turtle said history denied. Boys, I say history repeated. Fall Invitational. You guys take down Karmine 4-2. Here we are in the Winter Invitational, Chronic. You've done it again. You've taken down Karmine. What is it about the Invitationals, the 3rd regional, that has you boys peaking?
I don't know. I think we always take the last regional really serious. That's why we come bootcamp. So maybe that's the buff of the bootcamp that made us win.
And obviously the grand final, you guys are already guaranteed 2nd seed. You were basically playing for pride in that one. But how much did that mean to take down KC, I guess the team that everyone thought was unbeatable this split?
I mean, it's a lot for us because we're trying a new play style, as I said before. And of course, we wanted to win the regional. Of course, we wanted to beat KC to show we are in a run to be the best team in the world as well. So yeah, that's good.
Now, I know you've got Quadrant in the tiebreakers, but how about you ask the fellas next year? Who do they have in the tiebreaker matchups coming up?
Okay. So who do you guys have making the seed number 5 for LAN? Quadrant, German Amigos, or G1? Okay, everyone is saying Quadrant.
Ooh, the believes in Quadrant. I like it. Now, obviously, I know you're on the Quadrant as well. Let's move here back to you guys. All eyes on the major now for you blokes. Number 2 seed locked in. You're coming off a regional win against what a lot of people thought was the number 1 team, at least in Europe, if not the world. What's the confidence like? What's the mentality going into San Diego?
We are really confident going to the major. We just go like we did to this regional. We just want to win, perform our playstyle the best we can, and show everyone what we can do.
And I want to get back to that Champions Field. Game 7, previously, I believe you guys were 3-3 in Game 7s, but you've done it twice now. Semi-finals, grand finals. Your Game 7s are unreal. What's going? Is it you guys just step up? Is it the coaching? What's going on with you blokes?
I think in Game 7, we always say, let's keep calm. Let's not get excited. Nerves are out. We just, have to play our game. We say this every single goal. We score or get scored on. And we try to keep focused and calm. So that's basically what we do.
Fantastic. Well, just let Oski know back there that he's an absolute unit, and I love him. Have a look at the size. What an absolute lad. Look, boys, congratulations on the grand final win. It's unreal to see you guys at the top of the region. I know you're the number 2 seed, but carry that form into San Diego, and we cannot wait to see you guys at the major.
Thank you.
So your invitational champions there. As we do take a look at how the action played out this weekend, it was pretty predictable all the way up until the grand finals, and then KCorp eliminated by Team Liquid. Having a look at this one here, Dazarin. Do you agree with the way we went with this one?
A bit, you know, there's some probably like minor details I probably would have changed. I do like Liquid winning though. I think it's going to be great for like Europe as a region, but also for those guys as individuals.